Rock Me Mama.
All right, welcome back to
Rock Me Mama.
I'm Macy.
And I'm Amy.
And this is...
I'm Kashawna.
Yay!
We
so
have a guest.
excited to have her here. Kashawna is if y'all have been listening, she's our first guest. We have been talking about bringing women on since we came up with the podcast idea. And the first person that came to my mind was you. Like, truly, I was like... And I told Amy, I was like, we have to have Kashawna on here. Like, I have admired you as a stepmom, and then I've been following your infertility journey for 2.5 years now. Yes. And I'm like, are you kidding me? No,
I'm like, Macy's gonna cry already. We were literally crying before the camera started rolling.
The whole time.
It's okay.
I'm
we were talking about like birth and everything, and I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, we're gonna.
So get ready for some tears.
I've known Kashawna. We were just talking about this. She was a member at the gym that I trained at for, I was there for I think 4 years maybe. And so we go 8 years back, which is crazy. And so we got engaged around the same time, and we spent many mornings together at 5:45 a.m. So I wanted Kashawna to come on here because she has there's so many different aspects of motherhood, and Amy and I try to touch on as many as we can, but there's some that we can't touch on. And two that I really want to focus on today is she's a stepmom, and your relationship with your stepson
he's the best.
Beautiful.
He's the best.
And I think a lot of women are worried about that too when they get into a situation. Am I going to love this kid?
Yeah,
sure.
He's great. He's fantastic. I think, I don't want to get it too much into it because they were the intro, but he makes it really easy.
Yeah.
Like he's an easygoing kid. He's such a sweet kid. Like a genuinely good, you meet people and you just like know they're gonna be good people. He's like that person.
Sweet.
Like he's always been like that. He's gonna be a great man when he's grown. And
I love that. Well, he's got a good dad too.
He has a great dad.
Yeah, right. But I really want you to talk about that and your relationship with him and how that's been, because I know you've shared some things before about how that's difficult, because obviously, and just aspects of being a stepmom while wanting to be a mom, all of that. So we'll talk about that. And then her infertility story is it's powerful. And she is, spoiler, you can't see, but she is 27 weeks pregnant now. So she is a happy
and looking so good.
So before talking all things stepmom, tell everybody just who you are, about yourself, just a little
tidbit,
a little spiel.
All right. I'm Kashawna. I just had a birthday. I'm 34.
There we go. It's hard to remember.
Sometimes
the baby's sucking your brain.
Between 32 and 35.
Yeah, they all run together.
After 30, it's all the same.
Yeah, somewhere around there. It depends on who's asking.
Yeah, I'm
34 years old. I've been married for 4 years to a wonderful man. We've been together for about 10. I came into this relationship when his child was 1. So
wow!
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, he was a baby.
Yeah, so he was young, and we just don't really have a lot of time where I wasn't a part of his life. And when I first started, got into this relationship, I'm like, I don't know if we were no man that got kids.
Scary.
Yeah,
no, I think a lot of women feel that way.
I was young. I was like 24. 24 years old.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm out of college, just out of grad school.
It's a lot.
Living the dream, trying to find a job.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And then I met this man, and he had a kid. And I'm like, a kid, and like with the kid comes with the kid's mother.
I think that's the main thing.
Yeah.
There's the mother.
It's not. Everything's not great, but everything's not bad.
Sure.
Yeah. So it's been a road.
Yeah.
This is still a road, but we're making it.
Yeah.
We're doing the best that we can. At this point, but he's wonderful. He is getting too big, too fast, and it's just shocking. We were watching some videos the other day from like some Facebook Lives we did. He was like 4 years old, and it's just so grown. He's like a real person.
It's wild. Wait, how old is he now?
He's 11.
11.
Yeah,
and y'all are buds.
Yeah, we are best friends.
They're so
I feel
close.
like at 11, they're like teenagers.
Yeah. But that I was worried about that because like his friends and like my friends' kids, they're getting older and they're getting kind of mean. How teenagers they get mean. Yeah. So I'm like, any day now, it's gonna turn from him. He's gonna be really mean. But not so far.
Yeah.
You know,
He's
I'm confident that he's going to be at least kind of sweet.
I think
as
like
sweet as you can be.
he probably won't be mean to you.
I hope not.
No.
I don't think so.
No, I think he's a good kid. He's a kind person and a very sensitive boy.
Yeah.
So he's a good kid. I'm not too worried.
Oh, he's gonna make such a good big brother.
Yeah, he's gonna be great as a big brother. But he's fantastic. I think a lot of being successful in your journey as a step parent has a lot to do with the parent that you're with.
Yeah.
So they really have to kind of set the tone on how the relationship's supposed to go, and how that child or those children are supposed to interact with you, and how they're supposed to treat you, and how, and the same with the other bio parent, know, like what their relationship with you should look like.
Yeah.
They kind of have to.
It's a lot to work with. Yeah. And you have to kind of just follow.
Yes.
So, I mean, you can't be like, well, this is
what we're going to do.
And I'm sure that's hard at times too.
Yeah,
You
it
probably have
is.
to like not say a lot of things.
Yes, definitely.
You know what I mean? I bet it's an exercise of not saying things that you want to say.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because you just don't want to come on. You don't want to cross any boundary.
Absolutely. And that's not to say that that's never happened, because that would be a lie.
Of course.
That would be a lie.
He's with y'all how much out of the year?
Well, he's with us. He recently moved, so he's with us with summer times now.
Okay.
Yeah. So before he was halftime. Yeah, halftime.
Okay.
With us, so we spend a lot of time together, and it can be difficult.
Yeah.
But I think that if you have a partner who recognizes boundaries, like how to put boundaries between you and the child, and between you and the other parent, all those kinds of relationships, that person really has to be able to manage those relationships. And it's not always easy, but I think Mark does a good job. That's my husband's name. Yeah. Mark does a good job of kind of managing those kinds of things to keep whatever kind of peace it is in a very chaotic life.
Well, because Kale, her stepson, he only knows life with you. It's not like he remembers life without you. So
I've always been here.
I mean, there had to be the conversation at some point of who you are and how. I mean, that's a lot to navigate.
It
and
was
here
a lot
y'all
to
are
get into.
10 years later, having nailed it, and it's great.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I grew up with step parents too. So
you had a bit of perspective.
I had step parents, and I didn't really like them that much.
Yeah.
That's how, I mean, my parents got divorced when I was like 14 or 15. So I was older.
Yeah.
But so I've never called them step parents. I called them by their names.
Yeah.
Like my dad's married to Joanne.
Yeah.
My mom was married to Irving, the psycho piece of shit. But like, I never thought of them as parents. Right. Whereas in your situation, you're literally his other mom.
Yeah. I think because I came in so young, it's a lot easier coming. I mean, there's a lot of difficulty in parenting a young child, and but I'm glad I didn't come in and he already had like, this is how we're gonna do things.
I think established
already, because I always had step parents. My parents were never married, and I think I got my latest stepdad when I was probably like 19.
Oh wow!
So I was like, girl,
yeah,
that's
like,
gotta
please.
be weird. Yeah.
We have a good relationship now.
Yeah.
We had to grow, but it's not parental. It's just
no. How could it be? You'd be like,
so it
what
can't
the
be,
fuck?
That's the same with me. Like me and my dad's wife just like drink together.
Yeah, so
that's our relationship.
I think he's nice and all that, but we don't have that kind of parental relationship. You can't.
But you were in like the prime years. I mean, you still are really with Kale. So I mean, you have to. Yeah, that's a lot to navigate.
I was nervous. I mean, I didn't expect to be like parenting kids at 24
Did you
years
question
old.
yourself, like, am I gonna be able to love a kid that's not mine?
Yeah. I think just like in this pregnancy time right now, I get really worried about that. I'm really worried about that. I've never had a biological child, so I don't really know like what those hormones might feel like, what those feelings might feel like when my baby is born. And then I have this child who I love, I would
like he's your own.
I would do anything for him, but I do kind of worry about that. But I feel like we're gonna be fine.
Yeah,
y'all will. I think we're
the fact that you're worrying about it means you're gonna be fine.
Yeah. I want to be good to him. I want to be able to be good to my baby, and we're gonna take it. as it goes.
I think women consistently say that like we underestimate how big our hearts are.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think women always think about that when they're having either the second kid or they have a kid that's a stepchild or an adopted child.
Right.
And they think like, how big is my heart? Like we had an episode about like how much can I love?
Right.
And I think women always surprise themselves that like we have the capacity to really love multiple people just as much as the other one.
Right. Well, and there's no love, like a love for your child.
Yeah, I bet.
Like so it's possible. Like, now that I have two of my own, like I literally equally love them. Like my heart grew. It does. Right. So it's going to be great.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Y'all are all going to be great. And he's going to be great. I can't wait to see him be a big brother.
Yeah, it's going to be very exciting to watch him.
So let's get into the nitty gritty.
Let's do it.
Bitches.
Yes.
Infertility is something that we've tapped into a lot because I've been dealing with it this year. And like I was saying before we started, it's just like a secret society that you didn't want to be part of.
Yes.
And then once
Worst club, best members.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. I fucking like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
But like once you're in it, there's a whole world.
Yeah.
And there's so many women struggling with it. And you struggled with it for years.
Yep.
And you like tried. Like it wasn't, that sounds bad, not to downplay women who are infertile, but I mean, doctor's appointments and studies.
So take us through like your journey from the time you started trying to get pregnant to now.
So we started trying probably about a year after we got married. And I was like, okay, I'm 30. It's time to do the thing.
Yeah.
And I took out my birth control. I was like, all right, I'm young. It's fine.
Yeah.
He's had a child before. We can do this.
Ooh, that is a that is a factor.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, I can. Yep. Of course, I'll be able to do this.
Yeah.
And it did not happen. It did not happen for me. Maybe we hit like the year mark, and I was like, maybe something is wrong, and that's hard. It's really difficult. Yeah. And, growing up as a Black girl, I think there's so much messaging I'm sure there's women of other cultures, but I can speak for myself. Sure. There's a lot of don't get pregnant, don't get pregnant, don't get pregnant. And so I spent my whole college and all this stuff like not getting pregnant. And then when I wanted to get pregnant, it's like, can't get pregnant, can't. So it was really like mind fucking.
I did what I was told not to do.
Right, like I did what I was supposed to do. I went to school. I got the job. I married the man. And like now I'm ready to do this.
Right. And you're like, did I fuck up by preventing it this whole time?
Yes.
Did I miss my chance?
Did I miss my time?
Yeah.
Now, and all that time that I was preventing, like, is my window gone now? And I learned about maybe a year and a half in after seeing a bunch of doctors that I had fibroids.
Okay.
So fibroids, for those who are not in the group, I hope you never become a part of it, but fibroids are non-cancerous tumors of the uterus. Yeah. So they can grow like all over. All over the uterus.
As you know.
Yes, they were everywhere. I had 18 removed.
Jesus,
the first
18.
Time.
18?
Yes, the first
and
time. They were big.
Like they
weren't
like
periods really heavy.
They were outrageous.
Okay.
But I didn't know. So that was the thing.
You just thought that was periods.
So after I started, that's what it was supposed to be. I was on birth control for so long.
Were you in pain a lot?
I wasn't. I know a lot of people do have issues with that. I didn't have any pain. I just had these wild periods. And I remember talking to my MP and I was telling her about it. She was like, girl, no.
Like how? How long did you bleed?
It wasn't long, but I don't know how your familiarity with like menstrual cups.
We just talked about those last
episode. Like menstrual cups. Menstrual cups are like the ultra tampons. I didn't even know those existed.
The size of a pool noodle.
Yeah. Yeah. So like they're big, and I was like, I would leak through those in like 40 minutes.
Wow.
No way.
Yeah. Like 40 minutes.
So you were gushing blood.
Yes.
That's also miserable to keep up with.
I was like setting alarms every hour on my period to like wake up all through the night. Wake up all through the night to be like, I need to do this. I'm going to soak my sheets.
And you thought it was normal because like women don't really talk about how heavy our
periods. Some people have heavy periods.
Yeah,
I was like,
I have heavy periods.
Maybe this is just like a heavy period.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought.
Yeah, because we're not like, well, how much are you going?
Right.
Right.
Oh God.
Right. But I mean, that's something that you really do have to talk to your doctors about. Like if you're bleeding that way, the way I was, I didn't realize that was. I was like, it's, only 2 days out of my period. Maybe that is, maybe that's normal.
Yeah.
I talked to my doctor. She was like, not normal. You shouldn't bleed like that.
Yeah.
And I had never like had a pelvic ultrasound before. She was surprised about that. And I went in and they were like doing all this clicking when I was in the ultrasound room. And I'm like, what did you find? What is it? Talk to me. What is it?
Like,
what
we
is
found
it?
200 fibroids.
Yeah, it's like, what is it? What is it? She was like, oh, just some fibroids. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Did you know what that?
Yes.
Okay.
So my mom had fibroids.
Okay.
And she had a hysterectomy at 35. I was already 31 then. So I was like, damn, I missed it.
Oh.
Like I missed my window now.
Yeah.
Because my mom had her uterus moved so early. Like she was young. She had a bunch of kids, so she was cool. Just probably, never mind.
It's another episode.
Yeah. She had a bunch of kids. She had a bunch of kids. So it was fine, you know. I guess I don't really know. I guess I never really talked about what she felt like.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, I mean, I'm not 35 yet, but just like thinking about losing a uterus.
35 is young.
Yeah, that's nuts to me.
I'm 40.
Yeah.
35 is
that's
fucking young. It better be.
About. Yeah. It's crazy to think about. So I was worried about that. And, you know, that's the kind of, generally speaking, that is the kind of treatment plan.
Yeah.
They give. They're like, oh, yeah, you got to get a hysterectomy. And I'm like, I'm not doing that.
No.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Not
To get rid of fibroids, that's what the plan
That's
is?
what generally, this.
Which means
they just take
you
the
would not be
uterus,
able
you're not
to
able.
can't carry
right.
anymore.
So that was not an option for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, gotta do something.
No.
Something else. So she's referred me out to the fertility clinic. And I met with this doctor. He was a man. That was kind of stressful too. But it was like, this is the best in Nashville. All this. And I was like, all right. I mean,
you're
if
like,
I want this done, then we're gonna have to do it. He was fantastic, by the way.
Good.
But yeah, he was a great doctor. He was kind of like straightforward.
Yeah.
Which is what I liked.
I like
Like
that
I need
too.
somebody to be like, this is what's happening.
Yeah, me too.
This is this. Like we can
Like, don't
I'm gonna have
bullshit me.
feelings.
Sugarcoat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have feelings, but I can deal with those.
Yeah.
later. I deal with that with therapist.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I went in for surgery in April 2022, and I was so nervous.
Yeah.
About it. I had a surgery before, but it was nothing like this. They were like, it's gonna be a 6-hour surgery, and I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So,
Well, and then did they know how many were in there when they went in?
So I thought that I had 6
Wow.
when I went in, and I was already
So it
freaking
was
out.
probably longer than 6 hours.
Yeah, it was about 6 hours.
Okay,
That's what
okay.
full. And I did like the most invasive of the surgeries that you could do because I wanted them to clear everything.
Yeah, you're
out.
like, I want to have
I want
kids.
all of it, whatever is in there, take it out.
Well, because at this point, you desperately want
Yes.
a kid. Like, not that you didn't in the beginning, but you're actively fighting for it at this point. Yeah.
Absolutely, doing whatever I can. And just for my health in general.
Yeah.
Like bleeding like that was killing
and they're not,
me.
it's not good for you.
Yeah.
My mom and grandmother both.
Yeah, it was bad. Like I was so
Yeah.
anemic. I had been referred out to the hematologist, and they're trying to
Yeah.
put me on all this stuff to try to get my, blood levels back up.
Yeah.
Like it was bad. It was really bad. I was gonna have to do this whether I wanted kids or not.
Yeah, exactly.
This was something I needed
Exactly.
to do for my health.
Did they do it? So they went in vaginally, or did they do it laparoscopically?
So I have a cut. I have a C-section cut.
Okay.
And they pulled the uterus out.
Wow.
I got pictures.
So you had a C-section.
Yes, exactly. It's the exact same surgery.
Same girl.
Yep.
So you had a major surgery.
A real surgery.
Yeah.
God.
That is crazy.
She shared pictures of her fibroids on
I'll show you
Wow.
Instagram.
I
It's pretty
love
nuts.
that
I
shit.
hate that shit, but I was so like, I have been following your story so
I'm a
closely,
sick,
and I was like,
sick person.
God, I just have to look at him. And I remember seeing that picture and being like, how was that inside of
That's
you?
that's the same thing I was thinking. Like, where
How
does
was
all
that
go?
inside of you?
How does it all fit?
My mom had a few fibroids, but one of them was the size of a grapefruit.
People have much bigger than mine.
And they laparoscopically had to break it up into little pieces
To be able to get it out.
And get it out.
I mean, a grapefruit's large.
grapefruit. And she was it was hurting to pee. It was like pushing on her stuff.
I mean, because there's only so much space in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's
So,
not
and I was like, I couldn't imagine. I was like, how are you living? And she was
Right.
like, I was just uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was how it felt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you don't know anything
Yeah,
different.
I just thought I had to deal with it. I mean, I've always done it. I
Yeah.
guess.
Women, I always say this, women live in pain.
Yes.
No, we
Our,
do.
our our baseline is pain.
We live in pain.
It's
So
like, I didn't
whenever
know.
like things are painful, we're like, well, I guess that's
Yeah,
probably
sometimes
normal.
it's like that.
I'm
Whereas
just a girl.
men get like the common cold and they're like, I'm dying.
Yeah.
We're like, you're fucking fine.
Yeah.
You're fine. Yeah, that's definitely what it was. I didn't consider that what I was experiencing wasn't normal until the doctors told me, like, hey, girl, no.
Well,
it's
and
not
then you're
supposed to
probably
be
like, wait, I like don't feel that good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
Yeah.
It's like there's some validating after, like, you know what? That one time.
Like, y'all are onto something here.
That one time, now it makes sense. It's all start clicking for me. But
what was the recovery like?
It was hard. it was hard. I got through it really well, though.
Yeah.
I had to take 6 weeks off work to recover. And
I mean, literally, that you essentially had a C-section.
Absolutely.
Like, that's what it was.
Yeah, that's exactly what the surgery is.
Yeah.
Jeez. And that was hard for me, too.
So there's nothing to fear now.
I'm sure.
Exactly.
No, like, literally, labor is...
Yeah.
You can do it either way.
It was hard, having that scar, being an infertile person, having a C-section scar with no freaking baby.
That
was
is
really fucking me up.
That's like a really...
it was really hard to look at.
That's intense.
It was hard to look at, like, like everybody else, if somebody saw this and didn't know,
think you have a baby to show for it.
Baby, and I didn't.
Well, and because baby is here now. It was a constant reminder of I don't have one.
I do not have one. And I just got this stupid scar. Yeah. And so it was a lot of therapy to deal.
Yeah.
God, women are fucking beasts.
I know.
God, women are warriors.
Yeah, a lot of therapy to deal with it,
Yeah.
But we got through it, and and after that I was ready. I went to the clinic again to get my checkup, and we did a saline ultrasound, and then they were just like checking my tubes to make sure my tubes were open.
Yeah.
Look at get a clear look at the uterus, and they were like, another fibroid.
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
Stop it.
Yeah. He was like, oh, there's another fibroid.
Did you want to like throw the screen?
Yeah, I was devastated. Like
that is.
I was like I cried my contacts out, and then I couldn't drive. It was.
That is that's.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Oh God!
I had another fibroid, and I had scar tissue.
Even one, they said would prevent.
So you don't know.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about fibroids. Most people can get pregnant with them. That's just the reality. So that's why so many people don't know until way later. Like there's people who don't find out until they're like 50, 60 years old that they have them.
Oh, wow.
At all.
Yeah.
It's like they just go through life. And you got the bleeding and stuff. But for most people, it doesn't interfere with their fertility.
Yeah.
And if you just wouldn't know.
Yeah.
That you had them in the first place. I was just one of the unlucky ones.
Yeah.
But I guess it depends on how you look at it. Because of how they grow, it's all the hormones, like through pregnancy, they make them grow. Yeah. So like having all those fibroids would have put my baby at risk because they'd be growing with her. Yeah. All those hormones would be juicing those guys up too. Oh, there's only so much space in here. For things to go. So I'm grateful, that things happen how they did. Yeah. So we can get all of that.
So what happened with that one? Did you have to go back in and get that one? Wow.
I was back in surgery.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was in surgery. So I had a surgery in April. I was back in surgery in October for another surgery. Wow. He had to get
I do not remember this.
Yep, I got that one removed because I didn't tell anybody because I was so
you're over it. You're like, I already did this.
Yes,
like,
did you not share about that? No. Okay, I'm like, how did I miss that?
I didn't tell anybody until after it was over. Only people like my family knew. Yeah, and that was it. Because I was just, I don't blame you. So pissed.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
I would be fucking pissed.
Yeah, that was like already.
Yeah, like why me?
Yeah, and so I did that, and I was like, all right, now is the time. Yeah, we're finally ready to do it. Went in for my saline ultrasound. They were like, you have more scar tissue. We got to get it cleaned up.
Oh my God. I'm telling you, fight. This woman is fought for this baby.
This is a miracle baby.
Yeah, she definitely is.
Okay, so what do they do for scar tissue? I don't even know.
So they do a procedure called a hysteroscopy.
Hysteroscopy?
Yeah, so that's a vaginal procedure.
Okay.
And they just go in
put
like
you
with
out?
this little... Depends.
Oh God.
So I had two. When I was in full anesthesia, when I was awake.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah, and when I was awake. The second one, I was like, I'm not going to anesthesia anymore. I'm sick of this.
Yeah.
Just do it. And she was like, we can do it in office. And I was like, all right.
You're like, I ain't scared of shit at this point.
Seriously. So we did it.
You're like,
so you gotta find in there.
You're like,
just do it. I'm like, it's fine.
Who wants
let's just do it. Figure it out. Bring everybody in here.
Childbirth for you, you're going to be like, come on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm ready.
I've done a lot of hard stuff.
God.
A lot of hard stuff. So, but I had that done.
Labor is going to be nothing for you, by the way. You're fine.
Cutting. So they go in and like, so the Asherman's, I had Asherman's. That's what it's called officially.
Okay.
It's just like uterine scarring. Whatever. Okay. Most people don't get it because.
Yeah, you're like, right.
Lucky me.
If you can get it, I'm going to get it.
gosh.
But I had that, and they went in and just kind of like cut the bands of the scar tissue. And the second surgery, was in my fertility clinic. I was just sitting there in the doctor's office, and they're like, "Oh, I'm sorry you have to go through this." And I'm like, "Girl, let's just do it and wrap this up. I'm ready to go."
I've heard the sympathy. I just want it.
I just want it done.
Yeah,
I want this done. But I had that surgery in December of 2022, and I was pregnant in January.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And I was pregnant in January. So it was a long road.
So it was like a 3-year process.
It was 2.5. Yeah, it was
God.
It was a lot.
You were pregnant a month after that?
Yep.
So it was just that.
Mm-hmm.
It was it was just 1 million things blocking your way. I was like,
once you got that taken care of.
I know what you mean. Like you were blocked. Like you literally were. Yeah. There was like blockage. Essentially.
The thing is, so like the fibroids, they take up space in your uterine cavity. So that's the issue. There's no place for an implanted or fertilized egg to go.
Okay.
So this, if it's all filled up with other stuff, it can't.
So Mark could have been just squirting left and right, and they were just like, meow, meow. Okay.
Yeah. So there's nowhere for it to implant. So you don't get anything.
Wow.
So
when did you know you were pregnant? Like, did you tell us that?
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, tell us. Let's get that happy stuff.
I found out on Valentine's Day.
Oh my gosh.
So I was home, and I was like, well, I'm periods a day late. Let's torture myself once again. It's been 28 months. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, one day late. It happens. Whatever. So I went in, I took the test, and I put it back in the little wrapper, went downstairs, myself some breakfast and coffee.
Oh my God, you waited that long?
You're like, there's no way I'm pregnant.
I'm not pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was like, there's no way I'm pregnant. So like, I do this every month.
Right.
Whereas I have for 28 months. So like,
just another
already It's only been a year for me. I'm already there. I'm like, I ain't pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, pour the wine.
I'm not pregnant. I don't care.
Yeah.
So I did it, put it back in the wrapper, went downstairs, got my coffee and my breakfast and all the other stuff. And I was like, getting my cup out, and I was like, it's going to sterilize this because my period's going to come as soon as I take this, like always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did, and I opened it, and I saw 2 lines, and I was like,
what?
I was like,
was it like legit?
That's not right.
Was it a faint?
No.
It was
very positive. Yeah. Very, very positive.
Did your heart fall out of your butt?
Didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. And I just stood there, and I looked at it. And then I shut my bathroom door. And I was like, this is ridiculous. There's no way. There's no way that this is what, because I never had a positive test before.
Yeah.
So I was like, nah. And I was like, these are expired. Like,
you're like,
there's gotta be something's wrong with these.
Yeah.
Something's wrong with these tests. So now I took like every person.
Of course, you took like 18
like 7 more.
Yeah.
So, and I was like, wow. What the
She's
fuck?
pregnant.
I am pregnant.
Yeah, and it was.
At what point did you fill Mark in? Like, was it immediately after the first one?
I want to do like one of those like cute, cutesy things to tell him that I was pregnant. And it was Valentine's Day, so I was like, oh, I'm going to do this and this and this. This after I already called everybody and told everybody what was happening. I was like, don't tell Mark. You talk to him, don't tell him because I'm going to do something cute for him. For Valentine's Day, and we were like, we're not gonna get gifts this year, whatever,
and
then I came out with this bag. He was like, oh, you always go against,
and you're like, well, buckle up for this one.
It's gonna be exciting. So I gave him a little onesie and the test, and we were both shocked. I mean,
were you crying?
I did all my crying before.
Well, you were probably almost like too shocked to cry.
Flabbergasted, and I called my clinic, and I was like, so got a positive test today.
Oh my gosh.
And so I went in and got all my blood stuff done. So I'd done everything before Mark even knew what was going on.
Wait, so you got all the blood work and everything done?
He didn't know what was going on.
Because you didn't want to...
I didn't tell him anything. Well, it's all same day. But I went and go get my blood tests done and all that stuff because I was so excited. And I was like, even if it's just like... Even if I'm only pregnant for today, I want to be excited about this. Right now.
And you shared really early. And I remember you saying that exact thing. You were like, I know this is early, but I am happy.
I'm super excited.
And I'm sharing that happiness.
I
remember I was giving Eli a bath, and I was sitting on the toilet because I was pregnant at this time too. So I'm emotional. I'm sitting on the toilet, like scrolling through, I guess you shared I saw it on TikTok first. And I was like, and just like started sobbing. And Eli was like, Mama, okay? I was like, I'm sorry, baby.
did too.
I like lost it though.
I was shocked, and I wanted to really celebrate what was happening in that moment. I have had such a hard fucking time with this, and I'm gonna cry now, but
I'm like, don't cry,
I had
don't
such
cry.
a hard time, like through all this. Like I've cried about everything, like every negative test. Every time I had to have another fucking surgery, I go in for an ultrasound. They're like, "This is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong." And I'm like,
you just felt like it wasn't going to happen for you.
Well, and I remember you at one point saying, and I love that you haven't mentioned this because I hope it means that you have forgotten this feeling. So sorry if I'm reminding you that's the case. But I remember you at one point saying, I feel like something's wrong with me.
Yeah.
And God, that breaks my heart.
It was like I felt like maybe I did something that I didn't deserve to have it.
Yeah.
And that was the hard thing. But people would tell me that. Like people would tell me like maybe you're just not meant to be a mother. Like maybe you're just supposed
someone
to
has
be,
said that to me too, and it was
you're supposed to be a stepmom, and stuff like that. And I'm just like, why?
No, people need to shut their fucking mouths.
Yeah, people say like really horrible, insensitive,
and they
things.
don't even know that they're.
It doesn't
hurting.
even it doesn't even track to them that might be something that you maybe shouldn't say to someone.
Under any circumstance.
That's
not everybody's supposed to be a mother.
Like maybe it's just not for you.
God. And you're like, oh that actually you're okay, that makes me feel better.
Yeah. But you kind of if you hear it enough times, it's like maybe it's not.
Yeah.
Like maybe this isn't something that's supposed to happen for me.
Yeah.
And Mark and I had already talked about that too. Like the month that we conceived, I told him, I was like, we were talking about, going through the next steps with the clinic, which was like IUI and IVF. Mm-hmm. And I was like, maybe we just don't do it. Like maybe it's just not meant for us. Maybe it's just, we have Kale and that's what it is. But I'm tired of doing this.
Oh my God, I'm so happy for you.
Like I'm so tired. And I'm grateful, immensely grateful that it finally happened for us. Yeah. But that's why I wanted to share when I did.
Yeah.
Because
absolutely.
I wanted to share when I did and just celebrate whatever moments we had.
Well, and any win is a win.
It was a win. Yeah. I've had so many losses, like no wins.
You'd had only losses.
Only losses the whole time.
Yeah.
And to finally get a positive test and everything seemed to have been going well at that point. I'd done all the blood draws and they were like, well, it's looking good to us, whatever. I was just waiting to have an ultrasound. And I just wanted to, the thing about like early announcements, everybody's like, oh, you can wait. You have to wait until second trimester to say anything. But that's just, it's not steeped in anything that's reality. Yeah. Miscarriages are awful. They happen.
And should be talked about.
They should be talked about.
That's how I feel too.
But they're the exception.
Yeah.
Like most pregnancies don't end that way.
Right. Yeah.
Most pregnancies end in birth.
Right.
in live birth. So there's no reason I shouldn't be able to celebrate whatever moments that I had with that baby was something I was excited. Right. I was excited about. And me talking about it wasn't going to jinx me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the thing. Like whatever's going to happen with this was going to happen.
Well, at that point, you'd been an open book anyways. Yeah. So like,
and I would want to talk about that too. I mean, if that happened, I would share that as well.
That's what I always say too.
I would share that too.
Yeah. You, if you're comfortable with the fact that if it didn't happen, you were going to share, then why not share when it? I mean,
I would share anything that happened with it because there's somebody else going through this thing.
And it's so important that you do talk about this stuff because women need to hear that this stuff happens
and that they're not alone. Nothing is wrong with them.
You're having you got what you wanted.
Right.
Yeah.
It's rough. It's hard. I was happy with my choice. Mark was like, we can tell everybody today. about the pregnancy. I was like, maybe just like wait.
Let us relish in it for a second.
Who was the first person that you told?
My cousin Natalie. She was at work and I was like, bitch, I cannot. I have to tell you something right now.
Isn't it funny that we have girlfriends that we tell those things to first before?
Like, I have got to tell you something, but you can't tell Mark.
Yeah.
Because she had probably been through everything with you.
Yes. She took care of me after I had my surgery.
Yeah.
She came over to my house every day. And I don't think she cried. She's not a crier.
She was just like,
Well, and again, there's a shock factor here. Like, I'm sure a ton of people were like, okay.
Yeah. It was, she was the first person I called to say, I can't believe that this is for real. And I sent all these pictures out. And then I called everybody on FaceTime. And I just like, I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't share this. But I want to. So
yeah,
have you shared the sex with your...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was going to say, because it's a girl.
Yes.
I'm so happy that you're having a girl.
So
I am too.
Because this is the kind of thing that you will be able to share with her.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And you'll be like, mommy fought so hard for you. And she will understand as a woman one day, like what that took for you.
Right. And then, I want her to have this story. I hope that she doesn't have a hard time as I did.
But she'll know, and she'll have like you as a role model to be like, my mommy fought so hard for me.
So hard.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I can't wait for her. I mean, I can wait. Please stay.
Yeah, right. We don't need out now.
But I think you're good. She's pretty close to being here.
Stay in there. I can't wait to meet her, and hold her and all that stuff. It's not something that I thought would ever happen.
Yeah.
And you'll never take it for granted.
No.
Yeah, I could not imagine something better than this ever. Like when we found out that it was a girl, I mean, everybody else knew. I was apparently in denial. That it was a girl. It was just like, this is like gonna be the best day of my life. I can't wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
What a story that you do get to tell her.
That you get
and
to
like
tell
you said,
her.
like a boy would be like, okay, mom. But like a girl's gonna be like,
a girl's gonna like, especially when she's older.
Yes.
Like even with my mom now, some things that she tells me, they just like
I
feel them.
As a woman.
Because as a woman, I feel them.
Yeah.
As a woman,
and as a woman, also you're gonna feel everything she goes through.
Yeah.
You did it.
Yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping that she doesn't have. Now, my reality is she might have similar struggles as mine because fibroids are genetic. But
you will know.
Yes,
you know that though.
Yeah. So she will have enough awareness. I'm hoping that just me talking about it will bring everybody, but especially my own child, awareness around
and
her
she can
body.
get an early PAP and
things
do
that are
things
normal. Like you're supposed to bleed like this. If you bleed like this, this is a problem. This is when you're supposed to see a doctor.
Right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I was
I didn't know anything.
30-something-year-old woman. Nobody told me that.
Well, also our generations didn't talk. Like, my mom didn't tell me things that you're like supposed to tell because it's just you figured it out for yourself.
Right.
Nowadays we talk about everything, and I think that's actually so good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It
is.
Because somebody is dealing with what you're dealing with.
Yes,
somewhere
absolutely.
somebody's dealing with what you're dealing with.
Yeah.
I had so many girlfriends, like when I first started sharing just the fibroid journey before all the pregnancy stuff, who were like, oh yeah, I found out that I had them, and I've been scared to have surgery, and also it's scary as fuck to have surgery. So 100%.
Terrifying.
And they're like, oh, but you went through it, you were fine. So then I have friends who went through, went with having their fibroid surgeries to remove them to go on the next steps or whatever.
Well, and knowing that the only option isn't hysterectomy, like you can.
Yes, there's other things you can do. I mean, there's so many options.
Yeah,
and don't listen to anyone that tells you to give up.
Right. You just you don't have to do that. If having biological children, carrying your own children is something you desire, I would say do whatever
it
you
takes.
can. Do what you can. So
because you were told to have a hysterectomy, right?
Yes. So the first thing I heard from my PCP, she was like, "Oh, fibroids are gonna have hysterectomy." I'm like, "Girl, I am 31. No."
And we love that you stood up for yourself.
Yeah, like I'm not doing that. That's crazy.
It is very intimidating in the medical field. I don't care how confident you are, how old you are, what your beliefs are. When the professional is looking you in the eyes and they say, "This is what you should do," you're like,
you have to advocate for yourself.
You know what you're talking about.
Right.
You're the one that went to medical school. Like, and it's even if you go into that appointment thinking like, I know what I'm doing. And they say something and you're like, oh, like it's so easy to almost like cower down and be like,
oh yeah.
Okay, so I am so proud of you for being like, that's not what I want to do. That's not my path.
And in this country, like it is statistically, women are bullied into having certain kinds of births that they don't want to have. And the mortality rate is way more than it should be.
Yes.
And, you really have to... I mean, I had a horrible experience at giving birth. And it was because... for a lot of reasons. But also, I was just too scared to advocate for myself. I only cared what happened to her. I didn't care what happened to me.
So, I was talking about this today with I'm getting set up with doula care. So I was talking to somebody about that.
Good.
Yeah, I was talking about that today. And, because of the kind of surgery that I had, I am going to have scheduled C-section.
Good.
100%
I figured.
Good.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I love it. And I don't have a problem
Schedule
with it.
that shit.
But I kind of, when I was talking about birth, like when I first got pregnant, I went to my doctor and they were like, what's important to you? And I was like, that she and I both live. Yeah. And that's what I said.
Yep.
And, I was talking to the doula and she was like, you deserve more than that. Like, you deserve to have the birth experience that you want to have. Like, living is minimum. Yeah. Like, that should be the very...
But in our minds, it's not.
The very basic. Yeah. Right, because we know what the maternal mortality rate, even worse for Black women.
Yeah, way worse for Black women.
Like, even worse for us.
Do you know the numbers on that?
I don't know what it is.
No, but it's bad.
It's outrageous, and that's across, no matter, I'm a highly educated person. Right. And across, education levels, income levels, it's just... very high maternal mortality rates, very high infant mortality rates amongst Black women. So I was like, if we get out of this alive, then I think we have
and that's
a good time.
How fucked up is that?
Yeah, right. Something as basic as life. I would like to be living when this is over. That would be great.
Yeah.
But talking to the doula, she's like, you deserve to have better than that. Good. All women deserve better than that. Yeah. out of their birth. So like, we're going to curate your experience.
Yeah.
We're going to make a preference plan because you can't plan because,
Yeah, of course.
Babies do what they do. So,
they
ultimate boss.
They decide.
Ultimate boss. Ultimate boss.
Oh, I like preference plan. I like that better than birth plan.
I like your preference plan.
I like her.
Yeah.
So we're going to make a plan for my birth preferences and we're going to,
So what would be like your ideal situation?
I am more focused on before we get into the operating room.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So like things to calm my mind.
Yeah.
The thing about, so I have high blood pressure with this pregnancy.
Yeah.
And it's been very scary to think about with, preeclampsia. That's all they're yelling at you, like preeclampsia, preeclampsia.
Morgan, you dealt with that, right?
Yeah. It's scary. Like, it's super scary to think about. I have a girlfriend who she didn't develop it until after she gave birth. Like, she went back home and her blood pressure shot up. So she has a 4-day-old and is back in the hospital.
Oh, God, yeah.
Fighting for her life.
Yeah.
Because her blood pressure just skyrocketed out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, like, that stuff is very, very fucking scary.
Yeah.
So, like, dealing with the blood pressure thing, you don't know when it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm being very closely monitored. Thank you very much.
Yeah, good.
for that.
I'm sure. You're nothing's going wrong.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, I'm being very closely monitored. But I've learned things that kind of trigger me in medical environments. So it's like, when
why?
it's too many machines,
time in the hospital or anything,
right? I'm spending all my life in doctors' offices and stuff like that. But it's just like all the buttons and clicking and sounds and beeping and all the other stuff. It really stresses me.
Yeah.
Like, even just being in that environment, I know that all the machines have a purpose, but still, like, they stress me out.
Yeah.
And when I was talking to what I love about my OBGYN is that sometimes I'm like, I don't need to be a part of this. Like, I'm going to put my headphones in and let you do the things. But she's like, I don't need your help.
Oh, I love that.
to do this. Like,
the fact that you've established that is
I like that you're that close.
Yeah.
I've never been that close with any OBGYN.
Yeah. And I love that.
Yeah.
So she's like, and I don't need your help to do it. And I'm like, excellent.
Yeah.
See you when it's done. So
I
that's kind of what I
who
want.
Who do you see?
I go to Dr. Shaw at Sakara Shaw. And it was important to me to have a Black woman OBGYN.
Sure.
I've been seeing her for, we've been through everything. Like, first IUD kind
so
of thing.
she went through everything with you.
Things.
That's why you guys are like so close.
So, and she's a pretty young woman too. So like, I think we can just kind of relate. She's probably 40 something.
Yeah.
So we can relate on that level as young women.
Yep.
So she recently had a baby. So like we can, So like we can understand each other. Like, this kind of stuff. Being in this office stresses me out. All the blood pressure thing. As soon as she brings the machine out, my heart rate goes crazy. As soon as she brings it out. So we stopped doing that. We just do manual, blood pressure. Because I want accurate readings. If it's super high, I want to know that. But not just like, she's panicking because she saw that. Kind of thing. So,
she's a good doctor.
Yeah, she's great.
That's awesome.
She's a good doctor.
She's great. So
good.
I have a great medical team. I trust them. So I'm just hoping that it helps bring us both on the other side.
Do you have people that immediately after can help?
Yeah. Well, I don't want them to, but, but I do.
Yeah.
I do. It's just been, the journey's been so hard for my husband and I really just want us, the three of us as a family, well, the four of us as a family, I meant me, Kale, and Mark.
Right.
The four of us as a family to really just adapt ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, we're dropping off food, by the way.
Yeah.
Because all
We'll do
you really
drop-offs.
need, you don't want people around.
No.
You just don't. And
Yeah.
everyone wants to be around.
Absolutely.
And I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But, like,
know that
it
you
is,
can say
you can say no.
Yeah.
But what you do need is food.
Yeah.
a lot of food.
And then you also need someone to clean your fucking house.
Yeah. That's what I hear.
So everything else you can really do because your baby is only going to want you anyway.
Yeah,
right.
You're not going to want to hand them off.
No.
They're not going to be wanted to hand it
Right,
off. Like
right.
it's just one of those things where you see it in movies that like everyone takes a turn and it's a whole
Don't want the
village.
baby.
You won't
It's
want
not.
it though. Yeah.
No.
The baby wants you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's
Well, and also
people can only help externally.
Yes.
Yeah,
The daily
and
things.
except food
Yeah.
for sure. And if Alexis is like,
cleaning.
"Hey, I'm gonna run over and clean the dishes,"
Yeah.
Let them.
do that. But like
Yeah.
people, like visitors, people that are coming to solely like meet the baby.
Yeah, we won't be doing that. And we're gonna have a baby in flu season, RSV season.
Yeah.
Yeah,
etc.
you don't
season.
need to
We
be-
won't be doing that.
No, don't.
We will not be doing that.
Eli was
we'll see
born-
you in March.
Yeah, and that's fine. He was born
You can hibernate
in
with that
January
baby.
of 2021. So so not only was it January, which is flu season and all of that, it was
Right.
COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
He also weighed 5 pounds, 410 when we brought him home. So he was susceptible to anything. And so, I mean, my parents didn't meet him. Like, we did like through the glass door for a while because I was so terrified.
I am
Yeah.
And
terrified.
and you are
About it.
allowed, like, you are not going to hurt anybody's
Yeah.
feelings. Or if you do,
no, get over it.
for,
Or
yeah,
not,
whatever. Like they do not
gives a
matter.
fuck?
Yeah,
Yeah,
whatever.
they do not matter.
Yeah.
So I think I know
But
you will
you'll know
advocate
all
for
that
yourself.
as soon as you have her. You'll be like, "I'm doing what's right for us."
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Not sorry.
And people
and then you don't have to say
adjust.
sorry.
Yeah.
You can
No,
say
sorry,
this
not sorry.
is what we're doing. You
Yeah.
can come back in a month or 2.
Yeah, people have to
'Cause-
adjust, and I'm confident with that. I do have a very supportive husband.
Yeah.
I was talking to him like, "What do you think?" His mother's a nurse and she's great, and I was like, "So what do you think about visitors in the hospital?" He's like, "We'll do whatever you want to do." Exactly what I wanted to hear.
Yeah,
I don't want
yeah.
anybody here.
Right.
No, I wanted nobody.
Yeah, I don't want anybody.
We
here.
didn't
Nope.
do it
Yeah.
either.
It was COVID,
Birth, yeah.
but it was a few months after you. So
Yeah.
it was, they could have, one person could have come. And I was like, no,
I just
Yeah.
don't. I don't need that.
I don't want
that
anyone.
time. Now having done it, so this pregnancy, I could have had visitors in because
Yeah.
COVID's over,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And so many nurses were saying, like, y'all, is nobody coming? We were like, no, like that time with
It's
the
our
3
time.
of
You
don't
y'all
want
is
them.
Yeah.
sacred.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I look back on with both boys, those 2 days that I was in the hospital and it was just us and Chase. Some of the best days of and Chase would say the same thing because
Right.
it was just us. We really missed Eli this time around,
Yeah.
but it was just us, and you don't get that back.
Right.
You never
You
get it
really
again.
don't get it back, and
You
it
never get it again.
I
Yeah.
do think if there's any, and to each their own. If you want to have
Oh, yeah,
visitors in the
totally.
hospital, have visitors. But I do
no
think
need,
a lot
but-
of people think they have to do that.
I mean, you would be shocked at the amount. Like, stay off Facebook and pregnancy groups. But anyway,
Oh, gosh,
like
yeah.
in those groups, like
Yeah.
these women are being bullied.
Yeah.
like, by
I
their
was on all,
family.
I was in all those
Yeah,
pregnancy groups.
by their
'Cause-
families to bring.
Oh,
to
and it's like
let
their
them
husbands'
come.
families,
Yes.
Yeah.
and they're all
Like
going to
their
be in the room.
mother-in-laws, like I
Right, and
present the birth.
you're-
Right.
You're like,
You're
everything's
literally
on- y'all
spread
see?
eagle,
Yeah.
and like if you're at a teaching hospital
Right.
like I was,
Yeah.
200 people finger you.
Right.
You know, like
Right. It's-
you're literally
y'all are
spread
insane.
eagle.
right. We don't need anybody here.
No.
Yeah.
No,
I
thank
don't
you.
need visitors.
Yes.
No.
People think they have like a right to
Yes.
be there, and it's very strange.
And
You
they
don't have a
absolutely
right.
don't.
It's very strange.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you don't.
Nobody but you and your husband
Yeah.
have the
Yeah.
right
Yeah.
to anything
Yeah.
regarding your
No,
child.
Yeah, just us.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I
that's how
agree.
we want it. It's gonna be better for me that way as I figure out
Yeah.
what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I just think it'll be better for us, and we'll.
That's
let the
great.
people
Yeah, I'm
come.
not really worried about you at all.
No, you're gonna.
I
this
think
is
you're
what
gonna
we're
be.
doing.
I think you got it.
This is what
Yeah.
we're doing.
Yeah, so
You fought for it.
Yeah.
You're a bad bitch. You're not. There's not. It's. You're not gonna have a problem.
the baddest. Her story is amazing.
I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
I really do.
Well, we do. We need to wrap it up. Moore gave us the time. We don't want this to be too long. I
mean, let's go all night.
I know. I'm trying to end with some if there's one piece of advice you could give to women who,
that are struggling with.
what what would you say? I mean, whether it's specifically about fibroids or just infertility in general.
I would tell everybody, you really got to advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
Like that is like the number 1 through 1,000 of things to do. I trust medical professionals to be medical professionals, but nobody knows this body like me.
Absolutely.
I'm the only person who's lived here. So, trust yourself, trust your body, trust your instincts. If things don't feel good, I mean,
Then they probably
they're not good. They're not good. You have to be okay with saying no to people, saying no to things, and I think that's what is kind of just going through this pregnancy journey, trying to find my footing in motherhood is I am learning. I mean, I never had a problem saying no, but
That's lucky. It took me.
Never had a
I'm
problem
still
Yeah,
working.
that's great because I didn't get that until I became a mom. So you're gonna be like,
with that. But you have to be comfortable with that because it's more like I can't bother myself being worried about what other people think about me.
Yeah.
Period.
That's gonna have to be your business. Whatever you think about me is your problem.
Absolutely.
And good luck to you.
Absolutely. Yeah, and bye.
Good luck to you.
Bye.
But you have to be comfortable in that.
Yeah.
I know that it takes for me, it was there's been a lot of growth. There's been a lot of therapy to get me to this kind of point where I'm like, these are my rules.
Yeah.
These are my boundaries. I'm 100% in control of this body. And
I'm really have the urge to clap right now.
No, I know. I'm like,
What
should
I
we
say
stand up?
goes.
Should we flip the table?
So yeah, that's what I would say. And if you're going through infertility, if it's something that you want, I mean, just don't give up on it. I mean, it's hard. It can be long.
You
I mean,
had
there's
so
people
many
who
times that you could have. That a lot of people would have given up.
Done.
Yeah.
I was done. I had already told him. I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah.
I do not want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
This is the worst thing ever. I just don't want to. I don't want to have scheduled sex.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to go to the doctor once a week.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to, get my follicles measured or whatever bullshit.
Yeah.
But I don't want to do this anymore. It's hard.
It's exhausting.
I feel terrible, with the pills and the hormones and all that stuff. I don't want to, but I'm glad, obviously,
right.
That I stayed the course and we got something good out of it.
Something a miracle out of it. Oh my gosh.
Something great out of it.
Now
And
you have a miracle baby.
But I would say, just if it's something that you want, then don't give up on it.
Yeah.
And you can do it. I mean, I hope everybody ends up on the other side.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying.
We love it.
I know. Well, and then we'll have to have you back. Once,
we need a follow-up.
You'll need a good 6 months
Right.
to hear about, but we'll have
3 to 6. She might be.
Yeah. But
We'll
you're
see how
starting
you
to be
feel.
a mom. I cannot. I mean, you are already a
Listen,
mom.
We'll see how you feel, but when you're ready to come back and talk to us about your birth story,
Yeah.
we would love to have
and
your
how
birth
it's been
story.
with Kale.
Yeah,
and
I'm
I just want to.
excited.
I want a whole follow up.
I'm
So
so
we'll have to
excited.
have you back.
He's always wanted. The funny thing is, when he was in kindergarten, I shared this on social media. But when he was in first grade, he wrote this little poem in school, and it was an "I am" poem, and it was something that he desired, and he desired a little sister who played sports. Now we don't know if she's gonna be sporty. Probably if he and her
probably be
father
sporty.
have anything
Yeah.
to say about it, she will be sporty.
Yeah.
So sweet.
So and I was just so excited. And I was like, I knew I saved this paper for a reason.
That's so good.
I
I knew
know.
I saved this for a reason. I didn't know what, but I knew I saved this.
Oh,
Yeah,
or
so-
maybe you did.
I love it. I love it.
I know.
Well,
Yeah.
cheers to never giving up.
Cheers
Cheers
to
to
never
that.
giving up. Oh, thank you so much for coming
Oh,
on.
thank you for having me. I'm
Kashawna.
excited. I love talking about this.
Yeah.
I love talking about it.
And we will have you back immediately.
Yes, we will.
Can't wait.
Yay.
Bye, guys. We'll see you next time for Rock Me Mama. Rock, rock, rock me, mama.